Close your eyes for a moment and picture Greece. Do you see the first blush of sunlight spilling over whitewashed villages, or hear the gentle clap of waves against stones worn smooth by centuries? This is a land where every corner holds the echo of an ancient story, and the sea stretches out like an endless sheet of glass. Hidden within this timeless land are 10 places that will rewrite your understanding of paradise. Each one a secret the Mediterranean has been keeping just for you. From windswept islands where sunsets paint the horizon in gold, to mountain towns that smell of pine and fresh bread, Greece is like the memory of a song you once loved. If this journey speaks to you, please like the video and subscribe for more unforgettable stories from around the world. One, Athens, cradled between sea and hills. Athens carries the weight of over 3 millennia, yet hums with the rhythm of the present. It is a place where the scent of strong coffee drifts through narrow streets, mingling with the warm breath of history rising from sunlit ruins. The Temple of Zeus still stands with an air of quiet majesty, its remaining columns like ancient sentinels guarding the memory of a vanished empire. Nearby, the ancient Agora rests in a calm openness, once alive with merchants' calls and the debates of philosophers. Above it all, the Acropolis crowns the city, a sanctuary of marble and myth, where the Parthenon glows in the late afternoon light. The climb is steady, each stone step a passage through centuries, until the city opens below in a vast sweep of white rooftops, spilling toward the blue horizon. When you descend, the neighborhood of Plaka greets you with a tangle of narrow lanes draped in bougainvillea. The air is rich with the aroma of slow-cooked lamb, grilled fish, and warm bread, drawing you into family-run tavernas. Antique shops display worn coins, delicate lace, and hand-painted ceramics, each one a fragment of someone's story. As evening settles, open-air cinemas flicker to life, transforming old amphitheaters into places where past and present share the same stars. A short walk away, Monastiraki's flea market offers treasures and curiosities, weathered books, brass candlesticks, and maps faded by time, each waiting for a new hand for another chapter in its journey. Athens does not rush. It invites you to wander, to pause, and to feel how past and present breathe together here in the heart of Greece. 2. Santorini, rising from the deep blue embrace of the Aegean. Santorini curves like a half-forgotten crescent, its villages clinging to cliffs in layers of white and blue. From the port, 3 paths lead upward to Myteora, the island's lively capital, the quiet glide of the cable car, the gentle sway of a donkey's steps, or the steady climb on foot, each offering its own first glimpse of the caldera. Myteora itself is a tangle of narrow lanes and sunlit terraces, where church domes rise above the rooftops and the sea stretches endlessly beyond. Couples linger at cliffside cafes, watching light shift across the water, knowing some moments are made to be shared slowly. Beyond the capital, the island unfolds in small towns and wild landscapes. At its heart lies a sleeping volcano, now a national park, where the air still holds a faint breath of the Earth's fire. Along the coast, Red Beach glows with iron-rich cliffs, their deep crimson mirrored in the clear turquoise below, while Black Sand Beach feels at once raw and serene beneath the summer sun. And then there is Oya. Perched at the island's tip, it greets the dawn with quiet reverence, its whitewashed walls and blue-domed chapels catching the first blush of the day. Arrive early before the streets fill, and watch the sun lift over the ridge, painting the caldera in gold. Later, Wanderlens, a village poised on the rim of the volcanic cliffs, where every view seems carved from a postcard. Santorini is a place for stillness. It invites you to breathe, to look outward, and to carry away the light of an unforgettable horizon. 3. Crete. The largest of the Greek islands feels like a world within a world. A place where mountains rise from silver-green olive groves, where golden beaches meet the restless Aegean, and where ancient myths still drift on the wind. Its cities hum with life, their markets spilling over with ripe figs and fresh herbs, yet just beyond the streets, quiet villages gather around sunlit squares where old men linger over small cups of coffee. For history lovers, the island holds treasures older than memory. The Palace of Knossos, heart of the Minoan civilization, sprawls in a labyrinth of more than 1,000 rooms. Here, vivid frescoes still echo with color, and stone corridors lead you deeper into a past shaped by kings' rituals and legend. Beyond the ruins, Crete's landscapes invite their own exploration. Samaria Gorge stretches through the White Mountains, its sheer cliffs towering above the trail. The air filled with the sound of distant goat bells. At Elefsonisi Beach, pale pink sands slip into water so clear it feels like glass, while Balos Lagoon glows with shifting shades of turquoise and blue, one of the island's most unforgettable views. If myth calls to you, follow the winding road to Mount Ida, the highest peak of Crete. Near its slopes lies the cave of Zeus, said to be the birthplace of the god who ruled Olympus. Step inside, and you may feel the quiet weight of the stories told here for millennia. Crete is a place that moves between past and present, offering not just sights, but the feeling of having touched something timeless. 4. Mykonos. Mykonos shimmers in the Aegean, like a jewel set in white and blue, its windmills turning slowly above a maze of sunlit lanes. In summer, the island hums with energy, the air alive with conversation music and the scent of the sea, yet its beauty runs deeper than its festive spirit. Mykonos town, with its narrow streets and whitewashed houses trimmed in bright shutters, feels timeless, its traditional Cycladic charm preserved by careful hands. Shops and cafes spill out onto cobblestone paths, yet beyond the bustle, the quiet of hidden chapels and small courtyards offers a softer rhythm. Scattered across the island are countless churches, each with a story, their domes and bell towers catching the changing light. The island's museums hold treasures of its past, Byzantine icons, folk art, and echoes of centuries at sea. Along the waterfront, fishing boats sway gently in the harbor, and tavernas set out tables under the open sky. Here, fresh seafood arrives still scented with salt, served alongside mezze plates meant to be shared slowly, each bite carrying the warmth of Mediterranean sun. When evening comes, the colors of Mykonos change. The sea darkens to deep indigo lanterns flicker in the breeze, and music drifts from the terraces. Some follow it into the night, drawn to the island's lively celebrations, while others linger on a quiet pier, watching the lights of the town reflect in the water. Mykonos is many things: vibrant, romantic, deeply rooted, but above all, it is a place where the Cycladic spirit shines in the laughter of its streets and the calm of its horizons. Five, Meteora. Meteora, whose name means suspended in the air, rises suddenly from the plains of northern Greece, colossal pillars of stone towering more than 1,000 feet above the earth. At their summits, centuries-old monasteries cling to the cliffs, as if reaching for heaven, their red-tiled roofs and arched windows framed by open sky. Built by monks in the 14th and 15th centuries, these sanctuaries were places of refuge and devotion, shaped by a longing for solitude and a life apart from the world below. Arriving here feels like stepping into a realm between earth and sky. The villages of Kalambaka and Kastraki rest quietly at the foot of the rocks, their narrow streets winding upward toward viewpoints where the land falls away into a sea of stone. On misty mornings, the cliffs seem to float their bases, lost in a blanket of fog, and the monasteries appear like lanterns in the clouds. Inside, the air is cool and dim, filled with the scent of beeswax candles and the quiet glow of ancient frescoes. Between visits, narrow trails lead along the ridges, offering views that stretch to distant mountains. Each turn reveals another angle: sheer rock faces, small gardens, tended by patient hands, and the steady flight of birds against the wind. Meteora is a place of awe, not only for its natural grandeur, but for the human devotion that built so high, so precariously, and with such enduring grace. Here, the silence feels sacred, as if the cliffs themselves are holding a centuries-long prayer. 6. Delphi. Nestled against the dramatic slopes of Mount Parnassus, Delphi emerges from terraced olive groves like a whispered secret from the ancient world. Here, just 2.5 hours from Athens, the air is heavy with the weight of prophecy. This is the sacred place where the ancient Greeks believed they stood at the very navel of the earth, the center of the world. The sacred way winds upward through ruins that still pulse, each weathered stone a testament to pilgrims who climbed these same paths, seeking wisdom from Apollo's oracle. The Temple of Apollo rises at the heart of it all, its remaining columns framing views that stretch across the valley like an eternal question posed to the gods. Just steps away, the elegant Athenian treasury, a masterpiece of Parian marble, shines its intricate carvings, catching the light that has bathed this sanctuary for thousands of years. Above the temple precinct, the ancient theater curves into the mountainside, its stone seats still commanding the stage where Pythian games once celebrated both athletic prowess and artistic beauty. Higher still, the stadium rests in quiet dignity, where echoes of ancient cheers seem to linger in the mountain breeze. Even in winter's embrace, when mist wraps the peaks and olive branches glisten with morning frost, Delphi's magic endures. The town itself nestles small and welcoming among the groves where local tavernas serve meals warmed by both hearth and hospitality. This is not merely archaeology, it is a communion with the divine. Every vista here reminds you why ancient souls believed the gods spoke in this sanctuary, perched dramatically between earth and sky. Seven. Rhodes floating in the cerulean waters where the Aegean meets the eastern horizon. Rhodes carries the golden blessing of Helios, the sun god, who claimed this island as his divine gift from Zeus. Here, beneath an almost endless canopy of Mediterranean light, every citizen walks as a child of the sun, and the very stones seem to glow with ancient warmth. The medieval old town unfolds like a living manuscript, its cobbled streets threading between Gothic arches and Byzantine whispers. Where once the Knights Hospitaller transformed a fortress into the magnificent palace of the Grandmaster, Gothic spires now pierce the azure sky, a rare architectural jewel in Greece's crown. Wander these narrow passages where Crusader history meets island soul, each weathered doorway holding secrets of centuries past. Beyond the ramparts, Lindos crowns a hill. Its acropolis rises from whitewashed houses in terraced splendor, where temples built 9 centuries before Christ still command the sapphire coastline. Here, Romans and Byzantines each left their mark, creating a layered sanctuary that speaks across millennia to the sea below. Though the mighty Colossus, once the world's tallest statue and wonder of the ancient world, has long since fallen, Rhodes itself remains a monument to human achievement. Crete Castle keeps watch over wild coastlines, while Monolithos Castle perches dramatically above the waves. Rhodes doesn't merely preserve history, it lives, breathes, and shares generously with all who seek the sun. Eight. Corfu, where the Ionian Sea kisses the threshold between Greece and Albania, Corfu emerges as an emerald jewel wrapped in green hills and silver olive groves. This is perhaps Greece's most verdant island, where cypress trees pierce azure skies and wildflowers carpet meadows that roll towards secluded coves. In Corfu town, centuries fold into one another like pages of an illuminated manuscript. The Campiello, the old quarter inscribed on UNESCO's heritage list, spreads in a maze of cantuner narrow streets where Venetian balconies drip with bougainvillea and neoclassical facades painted in warm ochres and dusty roses catch the afternoon light. Here, the elegant Liston Arcade beckons with cafe tables where locals and travelers alike pause for coffee beneath graceful arches that echo Venice's grandest squares. The old fortress rises from its promontory, its Venetian walls having withstood Ottoman sieges and centuries of Mediterranean storms. Cross the ancient canal and climb to the holy church of Agios Georgios, where British soldiers once prayed in Greek revival splendor, and the whole island spreads below in a tapestry of green and blue. Beyond the town's historic embrace, nature reveals her most dramatic gestures. Porto Timoni unfolds as a perfect horseshoe bay, its twin beaches cupped by verdant cliffs. A short but rewarding hike leads to views that seem painted by the gods themselves. At Cape Drastis, sea cliffs rise like ancient sculptures against the wine-dark waters, their unique formations catching sunset's fire. In Corfu, time seems to slow down, inviting you to linger, to breathe deeply of the jasmine-scented air, and to discover why Homer called these waters home. Nine. Zakynthos, floating like a verdant jewel in the cerulean embrace of the Ionian Sea. Zakynthos unfolds its treasures with the flourish of its Venetian nickname, Fiore di Levante, the flower of the East. Just 11 miles from the Peloponnese, this southernmost Ionian isle pulses with a rhythm all its own, where ancient olive groves meet crystalline waters that seem painted by the gods themselves. The island's crown jewel lies hidden along dramatic limestone cliffs, Navajo Beach, where a legendary shipwreck rests on sand so white it gleams like crushed pearls against waters of impossible turquoise. From the cliff-top viewpoints, the scene below unfolds like a sailor's dream, accessible only by boat, through caves and arches carved by centuries of Ionian storms. Beyond this iconic shore, Zakynthos reveals gentler faces, the golden sweep of Gerakas, where sea turtles nest beneath star-filled skies, the family-friendly stretches of Vasilikos, where tavernas serve grilled octopus mere steps from the waves. Each bay offers its own invitation to linger, to swim, to discover. In Zakynthos town, Venetian elegance mingles with Greek warmth along waterfront promenades where fishing boats bob beside modern yachts. Byzantine churches rise between palm-lined squares, their bells echoing across a harbor that welcome travelers. As the evening settles, the island transforms. Quiet coves give way to vibrant nightlife in Laganas, where music spills from seaside clubs into balmy Mediterranean nights. Zakynthos is more than an escape. The island's sunsets over the Ionian Sea will leave a lasting impression, a powerful reminder of its timeless beauty. 10. Thessaloniki, along the curving embrace of the Thamaic Gulf, Thessaloniki stretches like a tapestry woven from 1,000 different threads. Roman arches casting shadows over Byzantine domes, while Ottoman minarets rise beside neoclassical mansions. Greece's second city pulses with an energy all its own, where ancient cobblestones echo with the footsteps of students rushing to lectures and grandmothers carrying fresh bread from corner bakeries. Here, 3rd century ruins stand as casual neighbors to converted warehouses, their industrial bones now housing wine bars, where locals gather to debate philosophy over glasses of Assyrtiko as evening light filters through tall windows. The upper town unfolds in narrow streets, perfumed with wild herbs and wood smoke, where Byzantine churches hold their vigil among traditional houses painted in faded pastels. Below, the waterfront promenade invites evening strolls, the sea breeze carrying whispers of distant islands, while couples pause to watch fishing boats return with the day's catch. This is a city that feeds the soul as much as the body. Tavernas tucked into hidden courtyards serve dishes passed down through generations, while the central markets overflow with olives glistening like jewels, wheels of aged cheese and spices that transport you across continents with a single breath. As night deepens, Thessaloniki reveals another face, intimate rebetiko clubs, where traditional songs blend with contemporary melodies, creating a soundtrack for a city that honors its past while embracing tomorrow with open arms. From the marble columns of Athens to the volcanic cliffs of Santorini, kissed by endless sunsets, Greece has opened her heart to us. We breathed in. History tasted the salt of ancient seas and felt the pulse of a civilization that still beats strong beneath Mediterranean skies. Perhaps in these timeless places, we found echoes of our own search for meaning and beauty. If one of these Greek jewels stirred your wanderlust, share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more journeys that feed the soul.